So unit number 3, adversarial search. Okay. In this type of search, competitive activity is there. Competitive activity is there. Okay. So that's why adversarial search problem is having competitive activity which involves n player and it is played according to the certain set of protocols. Okay. In unit number 3, we'll learn about the game programming. Game programming means multiple types of games we will learn. Single single agent, multiple agent. Okay. So adversarial search problem is having competitive activity which involves n player and it is played according to the certain set of protocols. Game is called adversarial because there are agents with conflicting goals and the surrounding environment in a game is competitive. That means the environment will be competitive and the goal will be conflicting. Okay, the goal will be conflicting and the environment is competitive. As there are n players, because of multiple players are there, that's why the environment is called as competitive environment. The motto will be, the goal will be same. The goal will be same, but the environment will be competitive environment. Now we say that the goal are conflicting and environment is competitive because every participant wants to win the game. Because everyone's goal is same, that everyone is wants to win the game. So that's why here it is called as the environment is competitive and the goal is conflicting. From the above explanation, it is understandable that we are dealing with a competitive multi-agent environment. Competitive multi-agent environments means the environment is competitive and the agents are multiple agents. Okay, the goal is same for all the agents. Now, environment type, there are two environment types, competitive environment and cooperative environment. Competitive environment, in this type of environment, every agent makes an effort to win the game. Every agent makes an effort to win the game by defeating or by creating superiority over the other agents. That's why here the environment is called as competitive because every user, every agent wants to win the game against the other player. They try to defeat each other to win the game. So that's why the environment is called as competitive. In competitive environment, various types of strategies are used to defeat the competitor and to win the game. Okay, so there are various strategies can be applied to win the game. And the second environment is your cooperative environment. Cooperative environment means the goal is same for all the the goal is same for all the agents. In this type of environment, all the agents jointly perform activities in order to achieve the same goal. The same goal is there, but the agents will perform jointly activity. One agent is depend on the another agent. The first, the multiple agents are depending on each other, and this activity, this environment is called as your cooperative environment. Environment, for example, car driving agent. Car driving agent will be your cooperative environment, and competitive is your chess environment. Okay, chess, ludo, that will be your competitive environment. Then, what are the features of this game? They have given example and explanation and the features. First is your two-player game. Two-player game means whenever users or agents have number of two users, number of agents are there, that game is called as your two-player. So when there are two components, there are two opponents, agents playing the game, it's called as your two-play game. To increase the difficulty of game, intelligence is added to agent in AI game. To increase the difficulties, each agent or both the agent or both the opponent will implement their intelligence to win the game, right? So that, for example, it is a chess. Okay, to win the chess, both the agent, both the opponent will apply their mind, will apply their intelligence to win the game. So that's why this game is called as your two-player game. Okay. Then after that, this is multi-agent game. Multi-agent game where in which game more than one agents are there, one more than one opponents are there at that environment. The game is called as a multi-agent game. When there are two or more opponents, agents playing the game, it is called as multi-agent environment, where action of every agent affects the action of other agents. Where the action of every agent is affects the action of other agent. That game is your Monopoly game. Okay, so in this type of game, when the first user or the first opponent will do something and that will be affected on the other user. This type of game is called as a multi-agent game. It is not a single agent game. Single user cannot play this game. We have to take multiple agents to run this game. Then non-cooperative environment. Non-cooperative environment, when surrounding environment is not helpful for winning the game, it is called as non-cooperative or competitive environment. For example, card games. When surrounding environment is not helpful. In card games, the surrounding environment is not helpful. Just you have to check the cards, just you have to play your game with your cards, right? So that is that environment, the environment will be not helpful to play the game, and that environment is called as a non-cooperative environment. Then run taking, turn taking is what? Turn by turn, if the players are playing the game, that game is called as a turn taking game. In a multi-agent environment, when the agent player performs a move and has to wait for the next player to make the next move, that game is called as a turn taking. For example, your chess, carom game, okay, board game, chess game, ludo. These are called as your turn taking games. We have to wait for one player. If he completed he's completed his game, then we'll start with the new game. So that is called as a turn taking. Then after that is a time limit. In such a game, there are time limit is there for 5 seconds, 10 seconds. The time bound is there, and that time bound type game is called as a time limit game. So one more constraint can be incorporated in a game, that is keeping a limitation of a time. Wherever the limitation of time is there at that for that game, the structure of game is a time limit game. So every player will get a finite amount of a time to take an action. Every player will get a finite amount of a time to take an action, and that game is your time limit game. For example, your online ludo. Okay, they will give you 5 seconds, 10 seconds to play the game. If you are not playing, the turn will be getting to the another person, right? So that is time limit game. Then unpredictable opponent. Unpredictable opponent means you cannot predict the opponent's move. You cannot predict the opponent's strategy, and that game is called as your unpredictable opponent. In AI games action of opponent agent is fuzzy. Fuzzy in the sense you cannot predict that. So which makes the game challenging and unpredictable. Okay, if the result is unpredictable, if the move of opponent is unpredictable, then the game is called as your unpredictable opponent. Players are called unpredictable when the next step depends upon an input set which is generated by the other player. Okay, the first player will play his strategy, play his game. Then on that basis, the second player will do their game, and that game is called as your unpredictable opponent. For example, card game with a multiplayer. Card game with a multiplayer. And this is example of card game in a single player. Okay, with a single player. Thus, non-cooperative environment card game in a single player, which we can draw or which we can play on system. So that is called as a non-cooperative environment. And here it is card game with a multiplayer environment, that is rummy, online rummy. Okay. This games, types of games, two player, multi-agent, features of a game, two player, multi-agents, non-cooperative environment, turn-taking environment, then time limit and unpredictable opponent. Got it? All the games, all the examples, all the features of a game. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Then after that, another feature of a game is zero-sum game. Zero-sum game. Zero-sum game means what? Whenever one opponent is winning, we are giving +1 point to them, and whenever the another player is losing the game, we are giving -1 point to this. So +1 -1 is called 0. So that's why it is called as zero-sum game. And the game is draw, when the game is draw, no one will get the points. Neither player 1, neither player 2. So that game is called as your zero-sum game. Okay, so zero-sum game concept is associated with payoffs which are assigned to each player when the instance of a game is over. It is a mathematical representation of the circumstances when the game is in neutral state. Okay, for example, if player 1 wins chess game, it is marked with +1 point, and the same time the loss of the player 2 is marked with a -1 point. Thus the sum is 0. Another condition when the game is draw, in that case player 1 and player 2 are marked with a 0 points. So that's why this game is called as zero sum game. That's why this type of game is called as zero sum game. Then after that, non-zero sum game. Non-zero sum game, there are two types of non-zero sum game: positive sum game and negative sum game. Okay, non-zero sum game don't have algebraic sum of payoff as a zero. In this type of games, one player winning the game does not necessarily mean that the other player has lost the game. In zero sum game, if one player is winner, then the second player is loser, definitely. But in non-zero, but in non-zero sum game, but in non-zero sum game, the payoff as the sum of payoff are zero. That means not necessarily if one player has won the game, the second player has lost the game. Okay, so there are two types of games are there: positive sum game and negative sum game. Then after that, positive sum game, it is also called as a cooperative. It is also called as a cooperative game. Okay. So positive sum game, it is also called as a cooperative game. Here all players have same goal and they contribute together to play the game. For example, educational game. Here the environment is cooperative environment. Here the environment will be cooperative environment. So in that everyone needs to win the game. Everyone needs to win the game. So that's why this type of game is called as a positive sum game. Educational game is positive sum game, and the negative sum game is a competitive game. Competitive game, every player has a different goal, so no one really wins the game. Everybody loses. Real world example is war. Okay, in war, everyone is losing. If they are win the game also, and if they are lose the game also, everyone is losing the manpower, everyone is losing their material, everyone is losing their uh, like their manpower. So that is called as your competitive game. Okay, positive sum game and negative sum game comes under your non-zero sum game. Another two features of a game: zero sum game and non-zero sum game. Okay, now there are some relative aspects of AI game. Okay, what are the aspects of game? First is accessible environment. Whenever you want to play the game, the environment should be accessible. Environment should be accessible. That means the environment should be visible. Like for example, in chess, the whole environment is visible. In Ludo, the whole environment is visible, right? In Subway Surfer, the environment is not visible. The total environment is not visible. When you are Going further, the environment is visible, right? So accessible environments means the visible environment. In this type of environment, the opponents, you can say, the environment, you can say, is totally visible. So in this type of games, accessible environment, games with the accessible environment have all the necessary information handy. That means all the things of that game is of, or like, the information of that environment, the information of that game is already given to the user or already given to the opponent. That environment is called as your accessible environment. In this, the environment should be totally visible. Okay, so that is your accessible environment. Then the search, also there are games which require search functionality, which illustrate how player have to search through the possible game. For example, Minesweeper and Battleships. Okay, here in this type of games, we have to search some space. We have to search some space. We have to apply intelligence. So in this type of, or this aspect of a game can tell us how to play the game, how to search the space to win the game. Then after that, third one is unpredictable opponent. In AI games, opponents can be unpredictable. This introduces uncertainty in a gameplay. Whenever the unpredictable opponent is there, at that time of uncertainty will be definitely there. You cannot say that the probability of winning player 1 and probability of winning player 2 can be the same, or you cannot predict the probability of winning the game. So this type of environment is your unpredictable opponent, and these are the main aspects of game. First aspect is your accessible environment, second is your search, and third is your unpredictable opponent. Got it till this? Yes or no? Game
Yes,
type.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Then the next is your gameplay. See, we have done this 8 queen problem. Yes or no? 8 queen problem, missionaries and cannibal. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right? Missionary and
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
cannibals we have done, and 8 queen problem
Yes,
we have
ma'am.
done. Only vacuum word we have to do, that we will do in next lecture. So these game are toy problems. Toy problems means these are not real cases, but we can we can like refer these cases to solve our real life problem. And the second part is your real world game, that is your traveling salesman problem. Okay, that also we have done in unit number 2. Traveling salesman problem, robot navigation, and assembly sequencing. Robot navigation, I think it is in third unit. And assembly sequencing means you're programming the robot to do the task. That is your assembling sequencing. So these are the real world problem. Okay, so it shows the example of two main varieties of a problem based in artificial intelligence or artificial games. First type is toy problem, and the second is real world problem. See, these are the strategies of player 1 and player 2. Okay, see, player 1 strategy 1, strategy 2, strategy 3, player 2 strategy 1, strategy 2, strategy 3. This is a strategy of player 1, strategy 1, strategy 2, and strategy 3, and this is of player 2. Okay, then see, strategy of player 2, strategy 1 of player 2 and player 1's strategy 1 is to draw. Means both of them are trying to draw the game. The second strategy will be player 1 wins, and the third strategy will be player 2 wins. Other than this, anything is there? No, right? One, the player 1 will win, second, the player 2 will win, and third is the game is drawn. The fourth possibility is not there at all. So these are only the strategies of the player. First, he will check that myself will win. Second, he will check that the match or the game will be draw. And the third, in worst case or in worst condition, he will think that the player 2 will win. Okay, so these are the strategies of game. Now, see, the simplest mathematical description of a game is a strategic, is in the strategic form mentioned in the introduction. For a two-person zero-sum game, the payoff function of player 2 is negative, and the payoff of player 1, we may be restrict attention of a single payoff function of a player 1, which we call here A. The strategic form or a normal form of a two-person zero-sum game is given in a triplet, that is x, y, and A. Okay, A is your payoff function and x and y is your players. Okay, so x is a non-empty set, a set of a strategy of player 1. That means x consists of a strategies of a player 1 and y consists of a strategies of a player 2. And A is your payoff. So A is a real value function defined on x and y. Okay, thus x and y is a real number of every x. That means A should be belongs to x also and A should be belongs to y also. Okay, so there are there are types of a strategy, that is equalizing strategy and optimal strategy and pure strategies and mixed strategy. In On the basis of how many times player 1 and player 2 is winning the game, following strategies can be discussed. First is equalizing strategy, a strategy that produces the same average winning no matter what the opponent does is called an equalizing strategy. Means both are winning at same with same payoff, or you can say with the same points. Then this strategy is called as your equalizing strategy. That means draw strategy, a strategy that produces the same average winning. That means at a certain stage you cannot predict that what if you will win or if the opponent will win. And that stage and that creating that stage where you cannot predict that from from both of them who will win, that stage is called as your equalizing strategy. Then the second is your optimal strategy. If one has procedure that guarantees him at least he will get an amount of average, and the second will procedure that keeps her average loss at most, then this is called as your value of the game, and the procedure each uses to ensure this return is called as your optimal strategy or minimax strategy. That means strategy in this type of strategy, at least means least chances of winning the game and least chances of losing the game. Both the both the things we are applying, and this strategy and this stage is called as your optimal strategy. Means in first strategy, that is equalizing strategy, it produces same average winning. That means you cannot predict whoever will win. But in optimal strategy, you are creating list chances or you are creating list guarantee to win the game by opponent, or you are creating most of the chances to create to win the game by yourself. And that situation or that stage is called as your optimal strategy. Then the third one is your pure strategy or mixed strategy. It is a combination of both. You are creating the equalizing strategy also and the optimal strategy also. So in this pure strategies and mixed strategies, it is useful to make a distinction between a pure strategy and a mixed strategy. We refer to elements of X or Y as a pure strategy. The more complex entity that choose among the pure strategy is at a random in a various proportion is called mixed strategy. Means here we cannot say that whoever will win. We cannot predict that whoever will win. And if that strategy means if the situation arises that only one player will win, only one player will win, and we can predict that this player only will win, that strategy is called as your pure strategy, where we can show that this this person or this opponent will win 100%. That strategy is called pure strategy, and where the condition is like both the opponents can win the game. Both the opponents can win the game, and that strategy is called as your mixed strategy. It is a combination of both equalizing strategy and optimal strategy. Got it? Strategies, equalizing strategy,
Yeah.
optimal strategy. Okay. Then the next is your types of game. There are two types of game: deterministic game and probabilistic game. Means deterministic, where you can determine the final answer or you can determine the final phase. That game is called as your deterministic game. Okay. If it is a fully observable environment, it is a fully observable environment when there are two agents playing the game alternatively and the final results of the game are equal and opposite, then the game is called deterministic. For example, give example of tic tac toe, cross and zero. Tic-tac-toe means cross and zero. Cross and zero is deterministic game. In like after two or three moves or after two or three turns of a player one or player two, one can 100% give the guarantee of winning the game, whether it is player one and whether it is player two. That game or that type is called as a deterministic game, because in this the environment is fully observable environment. The environment is all the nine square we are all the nine square are in front of the players, and in that nine square only we have to play the game. So after filling 4 to 5 square, we'll come to know who will be the winner. Okay, so this type of game is your deterministic game. And the second is your probabilistic game. Probabilistic game is also called as a non-deterministic type. It is opponent. It is it is opposite of deterministic game, where you can have multiple players and you cannot determine the next action of a player. The opponent or the second player, you cannot define whatever move he will move. Okay, so that is called as your non-deterministic game. The second player's move you cannot decide, you cannot predict, and that type of game is your probabilistic game. You can only predict the probability of the next action. You can only predict the probability. You cannot determine that. You just can give the probability, yes, he will do this move, he will do this move. If it is not done, then he can done the second move also. So that case is called as your probabilistic game. To understand probabilistic, you type you can take example of card game. Okay, in card game you never come to know the opponent will which card will give you, right? So at that stage it is called as your probabilistic game. Then the third one is another way of classification of game is exact and perfect information. Exact and perfect information. Games in which all the actions are known to other player is called as game of exact or perfect information. For example, tic-tac-toe. In tic-tac-toe, we 100% know the first player is 100% know the second person's move, the second player's move. So that is called as your exact and perfect information. And then inexact and appropriate information, game in which all the actions are not known to other players. Game in which all the actions are not known. We cannot predict the opponent's action. This type of game is your inexact or approximate information game. In this type of game, player's next action depends upon who played the last, okay, who won the last hand. For example, it is a game like the heart, okay, card game like heart. Okay, so These are the types of game: deterministic game, probabilistic game, exact or perfect game, and inexact or approximate information game. Got it up to this? See the examples: deterministic, exact, perfect information, chess and checkers. In this type of game, we can have exact information about the opponent, but in battleship and card game, we cannot have exact information. We can have approximate information that this type of strategy he will apply. So this game is your deterministics with inexact, and probabilistic Ludo and Monopoly, where we can 100% sure the sure about the move of the second opponent, and in inexact and appropriate Scrabble and poker, where we cannot have the exact information, we can have the approximate information. Got it up to this? See the
Yes,
chess.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
See the chess. Chess comes under the deterministic and exact and perfect information category. This game is of two-person zero-sum game. In chess, both player can see chessboard position, so there is no secrecy, and player don't play at the same time. They play one after the another in this order only. Okay, so thus this game is perfect environment to test artificial intelligence techniques, right? These are the these are the these are the possible actions. These are the possible actions of opponent one, and whenever if he moves this, if he choose this action, then these possible moves are there after this action. So after each and every actions, whichever possible actions are there, that we have to list out, and then we will apply the strategy to play the game or to win the game. Got it my point? What I want to say? See, this is your position. Okay, with this position, there are only, suppose there are 10 possibilities are there. 10 possibilities we have to write down, and in between that, in among that 10 possibilities, we have to choose one possibility. That this possibility, if this possibility is there, if this action is done, will have this much of possibilities. Got it my point? Got it
Yes,
my point?
ma'am.
Okay, and the checker. This is also same with the chess, right? I never played this game. See, checkers comes under deterministic, same, your exact and perfect information category. This game is a two-person game where both the players can see both position. So there, Nidhi, what you are doing? So there is no secrecy, and players play one after the other in an order. Don't play here. Okay, so this is the checker game. Both the games are deterministic game. Got it up to this? Got it up to this? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes or
ma'am.
no?
Sorry, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So